somebody sat in this seat before, and possibly it was somebody who believed that, Black people were inferior, and back there was probably so many people sitting there going through all of this. It's very surreal to me, but I also believe it's very powerful because you're in the presence of history.
Freedom Riders are a group of 7 African Americans and 6 white people.
Started by an organization called CORE, which is the Congress of Racial Equality.
They were trying to ride from Washington, D.C. to New Orleans.
And we're planning on enforcing the new laws that desegregated buses.
On the way to their destination, they were firebombed. For me, I know my whole life will flash before my eyes, and you would think, is what you're fighting for worth the effects that you're going through? And it was. They kept going to where they were headed.
So those segregation laws, even when they were taken away, those standards, those customs, they still existed. People like Diane Nash and the Freedom Riders had to go enforce these new custom standards. We would have never gone to where we are today unless people had gone in and challenged these things.
I feel as though ideology is a set of beliefs. It's what you invest your mindset into, but your identity is who you are. And I definitely feel as if ideology plays into that, because then your ideologies make you who you are. And if you let this racism instill in you and take over you, you become a really hateful person, and that becomes your identity.
Women were a big part of it. The most, the one I remember most would be Diane Nash.
Well, she grew up in a middle-class family up in Chicago. She came down and saw the racism in the South when she went to Nashville, and instead of going back like nothing happened, she actually went in and decided she was going to make a difference.
She did several sit-ins, and one sit-in she was arrested and they offered her bail, and she was like, no, jail, not bail, because that's pretty much hush money. I'm not gonna stop talking.
When she heard about the attacks that happened, she pushed for another freedom ride, and she got some kids together from Nashville and she went on a ride.
But the most important thing I believe that Diane Nash did was having children and teens with her. It wasn't just adults that were sitting in. It was college students that she brought in to sit with her, and a lot of times we forget that children shape the face of the earth. We shape the next generation. So for her to be able to bring in white kids and black kids to sit in together, it showed that, okay, if this group gets it, we can get the older group to realize it.
If I were a freedom rider, I'd be riding for gender equality,
immigration,
feminism,
creating more unity in this country,
advocating for our generation's rights.
Equality for men, for women, for all kinds.
I would ride for respect.
To see, how much we all have in common.
They weren't just fighting to get somewhere, but they were fighting for other people to see where they're going. It showed that not all white people are racist. It showed that white people and black people can get along for a cause. Just because one group hates another doesn't mean the whole group has to hate another.
And right now, as you see it, there are a diverse group of people sitting around us right now, sitting where they want to. It's very inspirational, and I'm glad to have the privilege to be on this bus.
50 years ago, my unborn spirit floated on rough winds that carried souls released by unjust intention. I ride for their justice. I ride for my mama whose breast was bruised by the responsibility of our heads. I ride for every color of the rainbow. I ride for love, love of enemies, love of art, love of peace, love of trust. We ride for those we fight. I ride for the rest of my life, for freedom, for me, for all.